Hello and welcome, I am Gary Reaver, and this is the first battle of the Solland Uprising Mighty Empires campaign. If you have not seen the campaign round 1, that will be linked at the end and in the description, you should go check that out, as that lays the groundwork for this battle. This is taking place between Sylvania and the Empire, represented here by the forces of Stirland specifically. So the narrative behind this battle, as this is very much a narrative campaign, by the way, I'm playing this in Tabletop Sim, as you might have noticed, is these are the forces of the necromancer Volkmar Neuhaus and his apprentice Lorius the Feeble. And Manfred von Karstein has sent them north to raise a force of zombies from Hel Fen, backed up by some crypt ghouls and crypt horrors, in order to launch a preliminary assault on Stirland, primarily as a distraction from Manfred's own activities. The defence of Stirland has been marshalled by the Knights of Moor and Captain Albert Kober, who has got a load of Stirland spearmen and archers, some Stirland huntsmen, as well as some flagellants who are always happy to die fighting against the undead hordes. This battlefield has some mysterious woods, which will be discovered as they are entered for the first time. A watchtower here, representing one of the bastions that protects Stirland and overlooks the approach from Sylvania. But I'm not actually going to be using this as a building. I'm just going to be using this as like impassable, just as terrain, some hills. And that's about it. This is a 1,500 point battle, and considering it's a relatively small points cost, the size of the Stirland force is incredible. But that's because they, although I believe I picked Elite Army for the Empire for this one, but it just didn't seem right giving Stirland elite stuff, both because Stirland is quite a poor province, but also they're caught relatively off guard. Like, they've got some Knights of Moor to protect them and some flagellants, but the rest is just core stuff. Oh yes, we also have the warrior priest Mannheimer and Roland Voigt, the witch hunter, who are both helping defend Stirland. Whereas over here, I mean, I think it sort of balances out because I've never been amazing with the zombie builds for the vampire counts. I really want them to work. I've got a corpse cart, but I've never really been able to get them to work. Maybe I went a bit too thematic with this one, but we will have to see. It's only the first battle, and it's a relatively small one, so it's just really to get us started. So I still need to roll for the magic. They're both using the lore of vampires, whereas on this side we don't actually have any wizards, but we do have the warrior priest who can do his battle prayers. We'll start off with Neuhaus. They're both level 2 wizards, and I will also be replacing one of each with Invocation of Nehek, because that is too vital to the vampire counts. But Gaze of Nagash, I don't think that's terrible. I think the fact that I have the corpse cart means I should be going for Augment rather than Magic Missile, so I'll replace that one with Invocation. And Hellish Vigor, Augment spell, yep. Rerolls to wound, yep, so that'll be Neuhaus's 2 spells. As for Lorius, the first one is Wind of Death. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, that'll be a good one. And pretty much whatever this second one is, I will replace it with Invocation of Nehek. Raise Dead! Oh, that would have been a good one, but no, I do need to replace it with Invocation, just so that they both have it, as it is incredibly vital, both to the vampire counts, but also specifically to zombies, because they could be raised above their starting numbers. But I need to roll off to see who goes where, so red is Stirland, blue is vampires. Blue, that is vampires, so they pick which side, and they will start, I mean, it's very similar. I think for thematic reasons, just so that I can say that's north, this will be where the vampires start, and also means I don't need to move them around. So, time to deploy. So I don't actually know if you roll again to see who deploys first. It's a bit unclear in the book, but that's how I do it. I also have one homebrew rule, which I'll come to later on. Stirland deploys first. Let's go with Mannheimer's unit, starting here. And I should roll for the Mysterious Wood at the beginning of the turn, and their detachment will deploy within 3 inches up there. Then the zombies. Alright, I think I need to have the center of the battle line. I've got to have that in right there. Neuhaus immediately deployed there, because I can't have him going through the wood in a chariot. Next is the other spearman, I think. I'm really hoping this isn't something horrible in this, because otherwise that could be very, very bad. I will put them there, I think. I don't really know where the flagellants are going. The issue with hordes is they take up a massive amount of frontage. So actually I'm going to put them back there. First load of zombies are going to go right there. And the flagellants are going to go... Ooh, yeah. I'm going to put the flagellants up here so that they can come... Oh no, I should have them around here because they're not that fast, whereas the knights can sort of hook round a lot quicker. Other horde of zombies on this side because they need to be as close to the corpse cart as possible in order to benefit from it. Then the Knights of Moor, the final Stirland unit to be deployed, are going on top of this hill ready to charge down and around. Although that historically has never been a strategy that's worked for me, but I will try it again. I am determined for it to work. Crypt Ghouls I will probably place down here to face off against the Flagellants. But that is all of the Stirland stuff to deploy because these are scouts, so they'll be deployed at the end. Ooh. So Crypt Horrors, I need to have them somewhere that... sorry, it's a bit laggy. Have them somewhere that they can anvil. Oh, yeah, that's not really a good place for them. And then the other Crypt Horrors are going to have to go down here, putting the Mortis engine behind the front line, and Laureus over here as well. So they should be protected. Although I have just realised bloody Laureus has a vortex. So having him behind the front line is a bad idea because... Oh, whatever, I'll deal with it. I've placed him now. And then these go at the end, and they have to be 12 inches away, either in their controlling or anywhere more than 12 inches away. So, I mean, it doesn't say they can't be in this one. I guess that is fine. This one, they're going to be really, really... Yeah, they're sort of going to be trapped between the two armies, but moving back a bit. 12 inches from this is... there. Like so. I mean, they're quite a slow army, and with all of these zombies, they're not really in much threat of being charged anytime soon, so they're going to try and take out the corpse cart very, very quickly. So that is all of the deployment done. And we roll to see who gets the first turn, with red getting a +1 for finishing deployment first. Nope, blue gets it. So blue decides whether they want to go first or second, and they will go first. This is a battle line scenario, so it's ordinary victory points, but we will be using the marginal, solid, and massacre victories that are from 7th edition, just because that's how Mighty Empires works, and these circles are the inspiring presence around the generals, who are Neuhaus and Koba. So, first of all, I have to roll Mysterious Forests, and these two, for the sake of this, are counted as one forest, so actually I'm rolling all of them immediately. So starting off with this one, a normal forest. Next is this one, and if it's something bad, it could... A fungus forest, I believe that inflicts stupidity. And then this one, also a normal forest. They also got quite lucky because that's a big one. Sorry if you can hear the background buzz from my computer, it is a hot day here. And we are ready to begin the movement phase. So first of all, I have to test for stupidity for my zombies. They are within the range of my necromancer. So we are testing on a 7. That is a failure. The zombies are stupid. Any charges? They are 12 inches away, so they would need an 8 because zombies have a movement of 4. I mean, it might be worth going for just to try and pin them down early. That might be a bit devastating, so I'm going to go for it. There's really no penalty to... Oh, 5. Okay. Yep, they're going to stand and shoot, is their charge reaction. The 9, apart from the champion, normally hit on a 4, but because it's stand and shoot and long range, they're over 12, that reduces it to a 6+ to hit, which is unfortunate for them, but they get 2 hits. And the champion hits on a 5, and also hits. So 3 hits. Strength 3, toughness 3 is a 4+, and no wounds, that's okay. And they have moved up. So now the rest of the movement. The rest of the zombies move up. They can march because they're within 12 of him. That might be worth doing just to close the distance quicker, but I'm also worried about these crypt horrors getting left behind. They are going to move up as well. I want them to try and slip through the gap if possible. The crypt ghouls are moving into the forest, which will give them a bit of cover from shooting, and also they do happen to get charged, and the horrors also move up beside them, but they're a bit faster. Laureus is going to see if he can get somewhere where he can line up a bloody vortex shot, so he's going to just move up between there. Not great, but he's probably just going to be invocating... Oh, I forgot to do the reliquary. So 2d6 plus the current turn, which is 1, so 11 inches. Oh, I should have marked the things that were within range, which I believe was the crypt horrors and then these 3. So they have +1 to their regenerations this turn, to a maximum of 4+. There's the movement done, so magic phase. 9. 2 necromancers channeling. Nope. 1 warrior priest channeling. Nope. Neuhaus is casting Invocation of Nehek on 6. 9, 10, 12, 14 because of his wizard level. They are going to try and dispel that, but I don't know that they stand much of a chance. No, he's gonna throw everything into dispelling that one, as he's the one on the corpse cart, so that's 11, 13, 15, 17, 18. That is dispelled, but they are out of dice now. The corpse cart's only 12 away from Laureus, so he's going to upcast to 12, so it's on a 12+. Yeah, he can do it on 4. He very much can do it on 4. Yep, that passes. Zombies being zombies gain an additional d6, so that's 2d6 plus 2 for this unit of zombies. 9 more zombies. And it seems I did not anticipate this and prepare with a large enough base, but that's fine. Because zombies can expand beyond their starting size, which is why I've gone for the Corpse Cart Necromancer build for this. The Corpse Cart is also caught in it, which means all zombies, all undead within 6 inches have always strike first, which changes the zombies from always strike last to always strike first for this turn, and is incredibly useful. That's it for magic. The only shooting in the army is Ghostly Howl, but that is out of range, so no combat either. We move into the Empire turn 1. They move forward 7 inches because of barding. They are out of range of anything, so they're also going to march. I guess these are just going to move forward 4 inches each, and they can't march because of the woods. Very few of them would likely die, but I just don't really want to risk it. What's the range like on these? They have a range of 24. They are... Oh, they are actually in range. Okay, then I'm probably not going to move them. But these archers I will move forward, so that they stay nice and close. The flagellants are also 4 inches, so they are also going to move up to there. And... ooh, yeah, there's a load of undead ahead. Yeah, suddenly they feel less confident seeing these massive hordes approaching. And I think these guys are going to move as well. I was hoping not to, but the hill being sort of in the way has scuppered things a little, so I'm going to move them up to there. And then rotate. And... oh no, alright, it's fine. I'll deal with it later. Magic! 10. 2 necromancers. Nope. Battle priest. Nope. I don't think there is any reason to cast a battle prayer right now, because they're not going to be in combat, and that's basically all they're good for, so it's just risking miscast for no reason. Shooting. They are going to shoot at the horrors. They're going to be on a 6 because they have moved and are over half range. Oh no, some of them aren't. Okay, no, it seems only the back 2 are actually over half range. Champion, who moved. Nope. The other ones who were within half range. 1. And the 2 who are beyond half range. Oh, that is abysmal shooting. That's 6 to wound. Wow, okay. I think that might have been a misplay. I've never used huntsmen before, and I'm not impressed so far. Yeah, I'd say they can probably see the corpse cart over the top of the zombies. It's a taller model. So, yeah, I'd say all of them have line of sight, but they are all still beyond half range. Champion, nope. Everyone else, 4. If I've understood correctly, I need to roll to see if I hit the corpse cart or the character. They seem to be separate. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to treat it as separate. So that is 1 hits Neuhaus and 3 hits the corpse cart. 1 on Neuhaus. That is a wound, but he does have regeneration, which he fails. If anyone does know whether corpse carts work like this with the 2 things, because technically, like, that's how... Because it says that ridden monsters work this way, and that characters in chariots, which is what the corpse cart counts as, work the same way apart from a couple of distinct things. But the difference here is that he's not really replacing... He's replacing the only crew. Oops, sorry. Hello, zombies. He's replacing the only crew, whereas in most chariots they don't replace all the crew, or they don't always replace all the crew. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, 3 hits on the corpse cart on a 5+. No wounds on the corpse cart. All 10 of these are shooting at the zombies. We need to start whittling down those numbers. On 5s because of long range. And 3 hits. 2 wounds. 1 regeneration, so only 1 wound from all that. First death of the battle is a zombie. I mean, that fits. These ones cannot see anything because I deployed them very badly. Maybe I shouldn't have had 2 spearman hordes. And with no combat, we move into turn 2. Reliquary. 4 plus 2, so 6 inches. That is considerably less. It is just these 2 then. Got to test the zombies on 7 for stupidity still, which they pass. Good. These zombies are going to charge, so I need to roll a 3 on 2 dice, which I have done. They are beyond their move, so they can do a stand and shoot reaction. Champion, hit. 9 others, 4 more hits. 4 to wound, 4 wounds, and they don't have regeneration anymore. The unit is, however, still larger than when it started the battle. There we go. They get 1 for the charge. They're moving 4 up. They're probably a bit close there, but I sort of ignore the 1 inch apart rule for friendly units. The crypt horrors are a little bit stuck, though. Okay. Yeah, I've got a bit of a log flume here. Ghouls are moving up. Still staying in the trees for a bit of cover. As are the horrors. They're only going up to there, because they don't quite have the charge range, and I want these guys to come forward a bit. Glorious is moving up to there. Neuhaus is going to move up behind. And the Mortis engine... Oh, the Mortis engine is actually a lot quicker than the corpse cart. It's got an 8. So he's going to move up there to get him out of their sight a bit, and to try and keep up with the army without going through the forest. Yeah, I should have deployed all of these like that a little bit further down so that the crypt horrors could walk past this. Something like this is, like, the big impassable terrain is good for making units have to work around it, but when I don't plan around it, it just becomes a block in my way. By the way, these over here are the alternate versions of the skirmishers, like the archers and the huntsmen. I forgot to set those up earlier. Magic phase. 6. 2 necromancers. Channeled 1. The warrior priest. Nope. only zombies have lost wounds, so I will be going with Invocation on Neuhaus, normal casting. Is it worth... I'm wondering if it's worth chucking everything onto it. Yeah, alright, I'm going to do that. I'm going to chuck 5 onto this to try and outdo their Dispel. Ooh, 10, 13, 15, 16, 18 total. And they are going to chuck everything onto Dispelling that. 9, 10, 11, they failed. So that was an ordinary casting, so 6 inches, but that is more than enough to get all the zombies. But also, because of Curse of Undeath, he instantly recovers the wound he lost earlier. So the upper zombies recover 2d6 plus 2, 5, 7 zombies. That's quite a large block of zombies now. And then the second one, again 2d6 plus 2. Oh, 12. There we are. That block is huge. And this is where this sort of build really excels, because now they also... all the ones within 6 inches, which is again these and the Mortis Engine, all get Always Strikes First. Oh, I did forget that I had the Unholy Lodestone on the Corpse Cart. What did I roll? I mean, I think I'll re-roll the 2, because I can... Oh, yes. The Unholy Lodestone lets me re-roll a single d6 per eligible unit. So that is actually 4 more for this one. And that actually does leave me with 2 for Laureus to also try and cast Invocation of Nehek. Needs a 6. Got a 4 plus his own 2, so he just scrapes by, and that is enough to increase these zombies again. 2d6 plus 2. So that is 8 more zombies. This is where the zombie build excels, I feel, in that you can just really make them massive sticking units. So they are the ultimate anvil in that they are going to be almost impossible to really get rid of when I've got 2 necromancers constantly feeding into them. And that's why you've got to have hammers like the Crypt Horrors. That's where I've gone wrong in the past and not had sufficiently strong hammers to strike the units that the zombies are holding down. So we'll see if Crypt Horrors and Crypt Ghouls are going to be enough. Really, you need Graveguard, like Black Knights and stuff, but I didn't think they fit at this stage for this army, so that's why I don't have them here. Shooting, there is the Ghostly Howl. I'm not actually sure it can target something in combat. It says that it can target if the Mortis Engine is in combat, but not about the target unless they're sort of in combat range, but it's out of range anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, on to combat. This is going to be a lot of dice. So they have Always Strikes First, so the zombies get to go first. But I do have to roll a fear check for the Huntsman on a 7, which they pass. That means the zombies are hitting at a disadvantage because they only have weapon skill 1. But they are a horde, that is why they're so wide. So we have 1, 2, 3 rows of zombies who are going to be fighting, which makes 18 zombies who are striking first. I'll do that as 2 9s. On 5s, 3, only 4 hits. But against a unit of 10, 4 hits is pretty decent. They have no armor, so that is 3 wounds. And then the Huntsmen have 1 attack each, so that is 7 attacks. Hitting on 3s, 3 hits. Wounding on 4s, that is 2 wounds. And I don't believe they have regeneration, because they were outside of the Mortis range to begin with. Add in the ranks. 3 for the rank bonus. They lose by 5. So they are testing on a double 1, which they fail. They flee 12 inches, and the zombies are going to pursue for 7. This is going to cause some break tests, because they flee through those 2 units. Because I ignore the 1-inch distance, that is where they end up. Right between these. They just nestle in between those. But they do cause break tests in both of these. I mean, that's pretty terrifying, isn't it? A horde of 60 plus zombies just surging towards you. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Roland's target is a Neuhaus. Oh yeah, he is... Oh, I forgot that he is ranged weapons. Whoops. Oh well. So because Neuhaus is his target, he gets to reroll hits. He also has Killing Blow and Sniper when targeting Neuhaus. Mannheimer's unit testing on 8. which they just pass, and Voigt's testing on 8, which they fail. Do they actually break? This massive unit of bloody 40 spearmen, do they break right now? Oh yeah, I need to get into the habit of measuring, like, panic distance. Oh yeah, there was nothing within 6 inches anyway. Just the stuff that he fled through then. Yeah, if I have understood correctly, this unit is now fleeing. God, that is utterly devastating. 40 spearmen are about to flee. Oh yes, also I've just realised that all of them, yeah, he's just inside there. All of these just fled through woods, so they do have to take difficult terrain. Champion, he's fine. The other 6. Oh no, that's... Sorry, what? Oh, 1+. It should have been a 2+. Yeah, that's 3 fails. Wow, it turns out it may have been a horrendous idea to put the huntsman up front. I thought there was no way that could go wrong. I didn't even think that they might bloody break. The spearmen flee 5 inches. I don't know that there's going to be space for them. They may be fleeing off the board right now. So 5 inches is there. They have to clear it. So they clear it to there. Yikes. Oh, that is pretty bad. Just double checked, and they can't use Voigt's leadership because he is fleeing, so the archers are testing on their own, which is only a 7 rather than an 8, so that's not too bad. And they hold. They are absolutely stalwart. Oh yeah, and these have just fled out of woods, so all apart from those 2 columns have to test. So that's 32 because there's only 8 there. So 32 and Voigt. Voigt is fine. Champion is fine. Let's do this as a 16 and a 15. This could be really, really punishing for them. 6 fails and 2 more. 8 fails. 8 people die as they flee through a forest. Yikes. Okay, well, that was pretty devastating. I didn't expect it to punch a hole in the Empire battle line. Oof. Empire turn 2. So first of all, charges, and then I'll see if they rally. Right, I'm going to have to do some charging here in order to try and recoup this. So that's 11, they've got a 7. Unlikely, but there's also not much penalty to them failing it. So I'm going to... Flagellants are going to try and charge. 7, they make it. And that's only this corner of 6. Go charge into difficult terrain. 1 fail. These spearmen, they pretty much have to charge these zombies. That's their only real chance of doing anything because they're so clunkily positioned and stuff. I don't need to roll for it, but these, what's that, 4 or 5 at the back? Yeah, these 5 are in dangerous terrain. Only 1 fail. I think that's the best they can do, just attaching there. And this is Mannheimer's unit, so he's going to be able to do some battle prayers. Now let's see if these recover. So they're testing on an 8. They recover. I mean, it was fairly likely that they would. It was very unlikely that they failed. But now they are stuck at the back of the line, which is quite awkward for me. And the huntsmen, they still have over 25%. But they fail. Oh, I should have done them first because they're about to flee through both of these. Oh no. They are definitely off the board because even 3 inches is going to put them there, which they have to move on a bit further. Oh no, they're skirmishers, so they are actually nestled between those 2 units. But these archers do have to test. They are within 3 inches of their detachment. I believe this is Regiment 1 and Detachment 1. So they get to use Voigt's on 8. And they fail anyway. Yep, completely stalwart. Next time they're like, oh god, people are still panicking. So are we. And they flee 10. Which is definitely off the board. I've looked up and I found a thread talking about how fleeing detachments don't cause panic checks. But I cannot find that in the actual rules. So I'm going to have to assume that they do. So maybe it's an old world thing and not a Warhammer Fantasy thing. So they are testing on an 8. But they're okay, they hold. even though they just got fled through. The knights are going to rotate and move up to there. And now I think they're unable to march because they're within 8 inches of the enemy. But if I pass a leadership test, I can. So they are testing on the generals. 8, which they just pass. So they will be able to charge next time, assuming the crypt horrors do not move. Magic. 6. 2 necromancers. Nope. 1 priest. Nope. Alright, here's their chance to do some real damage. They're not really positioned best for it, but against zombies, I think Hammer Sigma is the best one to go for. They already have Hatred from Mannheim, so if they also reroll to Wound, then they could really do a lot of damage in this turn. It's a bound spell, power level 3. I'm going to have to put 4 or 5 onto it just for it to have a chance of succeeding, so I guess 5. I mean, it's a bound spell, so the worst that could happen is you can lose it. Oh, that's a really bad roll. 11. I mean, he's not at any wizard level, so it's just 11. Then Neuhaus is definitely going to try and dispel that, which he succeeds with a 13, because he does have a wizard level, so no battle prayers for you. Shooting. Now, these two probably can't actually see anymore because the knights are in the way and they're at ground level, whereas the rest of them can. Champion. Hit. 4 who are within half range, 2 hits, and 2 beyond half range. 1 more hit, so 4 total hits. 6 is to wound the crypt horrors. Miserable failure. These 10 shooting the zombies. 4 hits. Nice. And no wounds. The other archers are gone. And Voight rallied, so he can't shoot. Okay, melee. Let's go with these first, I think. They are still affected by Always Strikes First, so 12 zombies. But first a fear test on 8, which they pass. Hitting on 5s, 4 hits. Wounding on 4s, 2 wounds. 6 plus armor, 2 fails. So that is 2 spearmen who die. And this is where the Spearman Horde comes into its own, because they have their support attack, they have their Horde attack, and they have their Spear attack, and they have their Horde attack. So they are hitting in 4 ranks. 16 attacks. Hitting on 3s. 6. 12. Wounding on 4s. 7 wounds. And I don't believe they have regeneration anymore. With the ranks, they have 2, they have 3. So they lose the combat by 5. Being undead, they are unbreakable, but they're also unstable, so they lose another 5 zombies. Which, frankly, is a drop in the bucket here. I'd consider reforming to try and get a longer frontage, but frankly, neither side wants to do that, because these guys want to come in and join, and these guys want to come in and join. So neither side is going to try and reform. Down here, though, we have the Flagellants who do their weird End is Nigh thing. Oh, they also Frenzy. Oh, okay, I forgot about Frenzy. So the Flagellants immediately suffer d6 strength 3 hits from them hitting each other and themselves, so that's 3 hits. 2 wounds, which means they re-roll to hit and to wound this round. So this is the first fight that actually uses initiative rather than just Always Strikes First, which means the Flagellants are hitting first. The champion will challenge the Crypt Horrors champion, which the Crypt Horror will accept. I mean, not that either side seems capable of making such a thing. It's probably less I challenge you and more and then the other side's like because they're both completely insane. As they're unbreakable, they automatically pass their fear. So hit on a 4, 1 hit. Wounding on a 4 because of their flails. Fail. The Crypt Horror has 4 attacks back with poisoned attacks, one of which is poisoned, so still rolling to hit to wound with 1. And I'll also add the Stomp attack. Wounding on a 3, so that's a total of 3 wounds. They have absolutely no armor, so that is him dead. There are 13 attacks from the rest of the Flagellants against the rest of the unit. Hitting on 4s. Ooh, 7 hits. Wounding on 4s. 3 wounds. Regenerating on 3s. Sorry, on 5s. Nope. So that is 1 crypt horror dead. Because they're monstrous infantry, they get all of their attacks, so that is 12 attacks back. Hitting on 4s with poison. That is 4 to roll. On 3s, only 1. And stomp from the 2 of them as well. That's 2 of those, so a total of 4 wounds. And they are unbreakable, so they don't need to test, even though they... Oh no, hang on. No, it's a draw, isn't it? Yeah. They get the +3 for the rank bonus, but no testing need be done. And we go into Sylvania turn 3. Are they within the front arc? They are, so they can charge in the flank. Yeah, they're majority in the flank of the flagellants. So the crypt horrors are going to charge. They're within the minimum, but they are going to have to charge through woods. So I would say that is... Oh, maybe everybody. Yeah, because the woods extend to there. So yeah, they start off in woods, so all of them are going to be testing. So that is 20 crypt horrors. Champion first. Passed. And then 19 with 1 fail. 3 fails total. But they get a flank charge. Where did that... Oh, it's under the board. Flank charge. These zombies are going to charge. They need a 7 on 2 dice, which they get. So this massive horde of zombies is now charging in to join the fight. Reliquary, almost forgot. 9 plus 3, so 12. They would have been within the 12 inches because they were like... Yeah, they rolled an 8, so... Yeah, they were like back here when they... So they are affected by the Mortis engine, meaning they gain regeneration. They, however, do not. They are just outside, which is a shame, because that would have been very useful. The crypt horrors are going to reform, so they're gonna get charged. Actually, no. Changed my mind. I'm just gonna move them out of charging range. If I move them down this way, 4 inches, and then rotate them a couple, they, I think, are out of charging range, so we're just playing keep away with the Knights of Moor. Neuhaus is going to move forward 4 inches. The Mortis engine is going to also move up 8 inches, and Lorius is going to move up 4. Magic 8. 2 necromancers, 1 channeled, and 1 priest. No channel. Well, let's go with Unholy Vigor. Oh, upcasting would need a 16, or it only targets 1. Oh no! Oh yeah, targets 1. Yeah, I'm going to go with an Unholy Vigor upcast, so I need 16, and I'm going to use 4 power dice. 10, 13, 15, 17, yeah. Reroll to wound. Is that worth trying to dispel when he's about to do Invocation of Nehek again? I mean, they're only zombies, so the invocation isn't dire. This is probably more dangerous because they're going to be re-rolling a lot against these. So yeah, he's going to use all his dispel on getting rid of Hellish Vigor. 12, 14. I believe that is less. Yes, it is. 17. So Unholy Vigor passes. And now the magic phase is the vampires. That also triggers the corpse cart. So again, any within 6 inches, which is both zombies, do get Always Strikes First. And now that I know that's definitely within 6 inches, I'm going to go with an ordinary Invocation of Nehek on 2. 11 total, that's fine. So the first zombie recovers. Oh, only 5. Second zombies recover. Oof, 11. Nope, 12, sorry. The regeneration these things have is absurd. And Lorius is also going to cast it on ordinary to catch these zombies and also the crypt ghouls who just lost some. He's also just going to use 2. 6 plus 2, yeah, that's a pass as well. The zombies recover 8. And if you're wondering where all of these zombies are coming from, this is like the border of Stirland and Sylvania. This is one of the most zombie-ridden places in the world, certainly in the old world. Like Hell Fen, where most of these zombies came from, is worse. But this border, oh, come back, is pretty awful as far as zombie activity goes. So they're now up to 75 zombies in that unit. 75 Zombies, look at them all! Incredible. And this one is just an ordinary d6. Plus 2. So 5, which they can't go beyond their starting, but they do get their 3 guys back. I'm beginning to really see the strength of the vampire counts now. Despite having lost all of these... I take it they're not within 6 inches. No, they're not. Despite having lost like all of these, which is frankly not that many comparatively, they are doing so well. Oh, I probably could have re-rolled one of these that I got a low result on. I need to remember about the unholy lodestone, but it's fine. Still no shooting, so combat. Let's start off with these, actually. The crypt horrors and the crypt ghouls attacking the flagellants. So, first of all, they're unbreakable, but they do... their end is nigh. So they take 3 strength 3 hits, and one of them dies. It's quite a balance, like, whether the vampires... Sorry, I refer to myself as I, depending on who I'm playing at the time. Whether the vampires want the flagellants to die or not, because what this instead does, because only one died, is they just get to reroll to hit rather than to wound as well. Did I do that? I may have forgotten to do that. I definitely forgot to do that, didn't I? Whoops. Oh well. So many rules. The crypt ghouls and the flagellants both have initiative 3. They strike at the same time, but I will do the flagellants first. They still have frenzy as they didn't actually lose the fight. 12 against the crypt horrors. 7. But they're going to struggle to wound now because their flail only works in the first round of combat, meaning they need a 6 to wound. And 8 against the crypt ghouls. 5. 5s to wound. 1 wound. And then 16 attacks back with poisoned, 1 automatic and 2 extra. 2 automatic and 4 to wound. 2 wounds, so 4 total. Ticks off the back row. Crypt horrors also with 16 attacks. 3 poisoned and 1 to wound. Oof. They got 5 poisoned hits. Oh, total of 8 wounds. I forgot to re-roll the flagellants to hit, didn't I? I'll do that now. So 5 failed against the horrors. 2 successes. No wounds. 3 failed against the ghouls. 2 successes. 1 wound. That wouldn't have changed things because it would have killed a ghoul too far back to contribute. And then 3 stomp attacks. 3 more wounds. Flagellants have been absolutely shredded and are now down to 4 models. But they are still unbreakable, so they still don't move. And now the massive scrum in the middle of the board. First of all, Mannheim is testing fear on 8. Pass. And all of these zombies have always strikes first. So this is going to be very, very damaging, I think. 33 zombie attacks. 33! So I'll do this as 13, 10, and 10. 4, 6. Total of 10. That is... yeah, that's only 1 below average. But that's... I'm surprised it's so few. But they do get to reroll to wound. So 4s to wound. That's 4. Rerolled for a total of 6. 6 plus armor. 1 save, so 5 die. That is shockingly few. I don't think I attacked with Mannheimer last time. I think I actually... oh no, he couldn't. Oh yeah, I forgot about the make way rules, so he should have moved over here and he should have done his attacks. Sorry about that. I'm going to have these 4 columns attacking this unit, so 12. But they don't have hatred anymore, because that was the first one. Did I even roll the hatred? I don't remember. I seem to be forgetting a lot of rerolls in this. 3s to hit. 4s to wound. Wow, that's low. I mean, they may win the combat, but they're just not going to shift these zombies. Whereas the other side have 21 spearman attacks plus Mannheimer. 8 hits. 13 total. 9 wounds. Do they have regeneration? I don't... oh, they might. Yes, they do. Do these as well? No, those don't. So 6 plus regeneration, and 2 are saved. So 7 die. Oh, that's the back row. How convenient. And Mannheimer has a great weapon with 2 attacks. So 1 hit, 1 wound, not regenerated. So they get an extra 2 for the ranks. They get an extra 3 for their ranks. So they lose by 4. And Unstable kills another 8 zombies total. You wouldn't really be able to tell. I mean, maybe that one's beginning to look a bit depleted, but this one, I think, is still larger than its starting size. And this is why you need a hammer, because the zombies can hold things in place better than virtually any unit in the game, but they're just not very good at killing stuff. So they're slowly whittling it down, but if they're hit by a large enough unit like this, they're just going to eventually get eroded down. So you need like crypt horrors to come in, but because of the size of the frontage and the awkwardness of the terrain here, I cannot get the crypt horrors in. When I kill these flagellants off, then I'll be able to sweep around the flank, assuming these don't come in. And yeah, they'll probably hit that one, and then I'll be able to hit the side of that one and maybe munch my way through. But if I can't get that hammer blow, the zombies are probably going to slowly whittle down to nothing. Empire, turn 3. Just looked up whether I could charge through this unit, and I can't. If these were going to be moving out the way during the charge phase, I could, but they're not going to move until after charging is done, so they are stuck there. So I'm going to have to move around them. So let's move 2 inches that way, which also conveniently gets us out of fleeing through range. And then, I think I'm more than 8 inches. I am. I'm going to march forwards. 4. Oh yeah, sorry, I should have made sure I'd finished the charging, but I can't actually charge with anything in this round. They're going to move up 4 inches and then rotate 3. Yeah, even if they move forward now, they should still be within charge range next turn. God, it might have been a bad idea to relegate the knights to moving around this massive block. Oh yeah, sorry, I should have done this as well before I started doing the rest. 7. Oh, they actually pass. They stay. But they're not going to be able to do anything. Magic. 7. 2 necromancers. And a priest. I reckon I'll go with Hammer of Sigma again. I could go with Soulfire to defeat their regeneration, but like it's only a 6+, it's not a particularly bad regeneration, so or particularly good depending on which side you're on, but being able to re-roll to wound will increase the number of kills, so I'll go with Hammer of Sigma, and I'm going to have to use bloody 6 dice to stand a chance of getting this spell through. Oh, it's irresistible. So it goes through, but then he loses it for the rest of the game. Oh, my mistake. I think it's just items that, when they're a bound spell, do that. Because it says, a bound spell cast with irresistible force does miscast. So, uh-oh. If I'd realised this, I might not have been so cavalier. Detonation. All models in base contact suffer a strength 10 hit. Oh, but not him. So that's, assume it means diagonally as well. So that's 5 spearmen and 2 zombies. Not going to get an armor save from this one, so that's 4 spearmen explode and 1 zombie explodes. Wow, that's really unfortunate. Are these the ones with the regeneration? They are, so he actually does get a regeneration save against this. Which he passes! Oh, that is devastating. Oh, imagine exploding and the zombies fare better than the armoured men around him. Oh no. But if that had been the large template, that would have been a lot more devastating. So that's probably one of the better results. Okay, shooting. These 2 can now see past them, but these 2 who are down the hill cannot. Whereas these 6 that are on the hill can. Long range champion. Hit. Long range everybody else. 5 hits. 6 to wound. 1 wound. Ah, they've finally done something. And it has a 5+ regeneration, which it fails. Oh, wow. They actually wounded something. And all of these are also shooting at the same unit. But they are also all beyond long range. All in long range. 5s to hit. 3. 6s to wound. Nothing. Nobody Voight can shoot. I think I will do this combat first, rather than this one. They still have always strikes first. Fear test on 8. Pass. 33 hitting on 5s. 5. Ooh, wow. 11. Nice. 16. That is above average. Wounding on 4s with a reroll. 9. 12. Oof. Then they have a 6+ armor. Oh, that is quite devastating. 11. So that's the whole back row and 2 more. Oh, yeah, that may have just killed all the spearmen off. Because that is going to be hard. That is going to be very hard for them to recover from. 7 spearmen hitting on 3s. Oh, 7 hits. And they get to re-roll their wounds. 5. 7. Okay, maybe not then. Maybe they will stand a chance because they don't have any kind of regeneration. So that was actually a pretty good roll. 11 on 3s. 4. And then wounding on with a re-roll. So 2. 3 more wounds. But these do have regeneration. No saves. And Mannheimer. 1. Wounding on a 2. 1 more wound with regeneration. Wow, they actually equaled them in wounds. But the difference is they get 3 for their ranks. So they actually lose. They lose against the zombies. So they are, they're not steadfast or anything, so they're testing on 3. -3, sorry, so that's 5. And they fail. Oh, that's bad for them. That's very, very bad for them. They flee. 9. Which there's both units of zombies are going to surge forwards to follow. So the upper one goes 5 and the lower one goes 6. So as they flee, also, I forgot to do this before, they fled, so they fled, sorry, not fleed. So they lose their standard because of last stand. And same with this one. As they turn and flee, the standard stays behind. So they flee 9 this way, which brings them onto that. So they go to the other side. Also, actually, before I do this, because I always forget, I've remembered this time, are they within 6 inches? They are, so they are going to have to test. But they are not. So then they flee 9, which takes them over there. The archers are testing on 7. They hold. The huntsmen are testing on 7, and they fail again, and proceed to flee 8, which is probably off the board. Yes, it is. Sorry, they grabbed 3 spearmen as they were going. So these ones surge forward 5 inches, which doesn't quite bring them into combat. And these ones surge forward 6 inches, which also won't bring them into combat, but will take them into the wood. So that is quite a few who are going to have to take difficult terrain. By my count, that is 40 zombies have just pursued into dangerous terrain. 3, 5, 7, 8 zombies. Worth pointing out, the horde is still larger than its starting number. And now this combat. Flagellants and crypt ghouls strike at the same time, but first end is nigh. 6. They may just kill them all of themselves right now. And they lose 3, leaving just 1. And they reroll to hit and to wound. Oh, sorry, he rerolls to hit and to wound. But because they lost, they no longer have frenzy. He, again, just the guy, the one guy. He's going to strike the crypt ghouls. That's a hit, but no wound. 6 ghouls, 3 hit. 2 are automatic, and yep, just the 2, so he's dead. Yeah, I don't know why I even bothered rolling. They don't have armor, so they will combat reform to point that way. Pretty devastating combat phase for the Empire. It's because the Knights just did nothing. They really should have charged into the zombie horde, but they probably would have just been dragged down by just weight of numbers. As we go into Sylvania Turn 4. The Reliquary has a range of 14. So that is quite a lot. That is actually all... Yeah, that is all units. All undead units have +1 regeneration. However, because I rolled a double, the Mortis engine takes a wound. First things, these zombies are going to charge these archers. And because they are lower than their move, they cannot do a standard shoot. They're just going to have to take it. And likewise here, they're going to charge. And they're charging through woods, but I don't care because they're zombies. So they're just going to move forward like so. And that is 45 zombies taking dangerous terrain. 4, 9, 10 fails. Worth it. That is totally worth it to pin down the it's probably second most dangerous remaining units. The Knights of More are still threatening, but being able to pin down Voigt's unit is a bonus. I thought about charging these, but it's a low chance, and they're still in the trees. So instead, I'm just going to move them forward. Same with these. They're just going to move out of the trees. Neuhaus is trundling forward, so that one is just with him, but that one is not. Not that it really matters. They don't use the leadership at all. And the Crypt Horrors. Let's see, how am I going to deal with the Knights of More? 18. They could conceivably get a charge on Neuhaus if I move the Crypt Horrors away. Yeah, I think it's very unlikely. Alright, I'm going to move them 1 inch that way and then 5 inches forwards. Actually, I will march Neuhaus forwards. It's quite slow on this cart. I think because it's being pulled by zombies. Yeah, he's within 6 inches of that now, so they can benefit from the Vigor Mortis. And the Mortis engine is also going to move forward. And Laureus is going to try and keep up, but he's sort of lagging behind. God, we've just moved the whole thing forward, and like the Knights moving in to flank us. It's possible they could still make a difference if they start rampaging down my back line, but I think by the time they do, the rest of the army is going to be mulched. Magic. 11. 2 Necromancers. Brings us up to the max of 12, but they don't get to channel any because he's fleeing. I'm going to start off with Laureus using Invocation of Nehek upcast to 12 on 4 dice. So 7, 10, 12 just makes it. The Empire know that he's about to do the same thing, and his is more devastated because it's a lot more centrally located, so he's not going to try and dispel that at all. So this one recovers a total of 3 wounds, actually, because it's 1 plus the wizard level, which is 2, so they get their 1 dead Crypt Horror back. The Crypt Ghouls get d6 plus 2, so minimum 3. They get their 2 back. And the zombies, which are just within the 12, get 2d6. They get 9 zombies back. And unless I'm mistaken, the Mortis engine also gets its 1 wound back, because that would recover 3. I don't think there's anything that says it can't. It's still undead like everything else. They can never recover more than 1. It still gets the 1 it was missing. Amazing. Again, despite all of this, we are basically at full force here. Like, all of these units. Like, that's lost 1, and that's a little depleted, but everything else is astounding, the regeneration the vampire forces have. And now I'm going to do 4 on Hellish Vigor. Ordinary casting, though. Oh, hell. Okay, whelp. Bloody whelp. It was targeting this one in particular because of that. Oh, bloody whelp. This could be the beginning of the end. As I was just saying about how, we're at full force. Yeah. That may have been very silly on my part. 7. Detonation. All models in base contact, but not the wizard himself, suffers damage. No models in base contact. He just explodes, but they do lose d6 from the pool, so they may not. So, used 4. No, he's definitely not going to get Invocation of Nehek off now, is he? I mean, he's going to try, because why would you not? But 6. Yeah, he's going to try, because he will still hit both zombies if he succeeds. But they have all 6 dispel dice. Yeah, it succeeds, because of the wizard level brings it up to a total of 7. Can you beat 7 on 6 dice? Yes. Alright, no invocation then. However, because Neuhaus would have been hit by his invocation, that still counts as the augment spell required to trigger Vigor Mortis. So they still have always strikes first. Because I've positioned the zombies in such a way that they are within 6 inches. Let's do this one first, because I think this will be more fun. So that's 9 zombies. First of all, fear test. They pass. 2 hits, 1 wound, no armor. 6 back. This is where their weapon skill may be killer. The low weapon skill. 4 hits, 1 wound, but they have regeneration, not saved. So 1 zombie. And with their rank bonus, the archers lose by 4. So testing on 3. They fail, they flee. 8. Which is, I believe, off the board. Oh, no, not quite. They are still on the board. The zombies are going to pursue. I find it a bit funny the zombies can, but 11. That is enough to... Although it would be enough to catch them, but actually they catch them instead, because it's a surprise charge. Normally they'd get a flee charge reaction, but because it is an overrun, they don't. So Mannheimer's unit is wiped out. That is pretty devastating for the Empire. And they move forward to where they were, which is there. And then in this combat, Voigt actually gets to do something. Let's see if he survives. Fear test on 8. They pass. 18 attacks. Total of 1 hit. That is pretty abysmal, zombies. They do get to re-roll the wound at least, but come on. Awful. Awful showing. That is the worst the zombies have done all bloody game. And he gets to re-roll wounds against the zombies because he is a witch hunter. 2 attacks on 3s. Actually, he's strength 4, so he gets 3 to wound with the re-roll. So that's still 1 wound, which is not regenerated. And they get 18 attacks with 3. 9 hits. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. Not regenerated. So considering they had pretty clean bloody sweep in that fight, they barely hurt them in return. So they get 2, they get 3, so they only lose by 1. They lose 1 extra zombie. Empire turn 4. Pretty much their only units left are Voigt spearmen, some fleeing archers, and then these guys hiding in the back corner. Can they see anything to charge? I mean, they can see them, so yes, they can charge the back of the Crypt Horrors, or they could try for that. No, that's... because of the barding, they'd need a 13 on 2 dice, which they cannot get. So they're going to have to go for the Crypt Horrors if they're going to do bloody anything in this fight. So they only need a 2. And this is where I mentioned at the beginning of the battle, there is one homebrew rule I'm using, and it's to try and make cavalry a bit less terrible in 8th edition. Basically, all cavalry have impact hits. So it's impact hits 1 at the mount's strength. That's frankly not much, but with the lances, I mean, that's the point of lances, but it would mean that they're like impacting its strength 6, which is absurd. Unless I had it so that, let me know in the comments whether you have anything like this. Unless it was a case of like lances are used on impact hits, but then not in combat. That's theoretically, that could work, because like lances are only useful in the charge and aren't actually good in combat. But again, that could be too powerful with the +2 strength that they give. So instead, I'm just going with ordinary strength of the mount. So that is enough for them to move into the back. And they start off at 3 because it is a rear charge. And I will also finally move these guys forward 4. No, so they can march. They're not going to be shooting. Oh, sorry, I should have tested these first. 7. They fail. So they flee. 10. They're gone. And that's all they can do. That's all they have left. So no magic on their side. No shooting because their one shooting unit just marched. So combat. Let's start off with... I always like to leave the generals one to last, because if they flee, then they lose their inspiring presence. But it's not like there is anything nearby to actually make use of the bloody thing, so we'll do this one instead. First of all, impact hits from the first row. So that's 5 impact hits at strength 3. I mean, even that is not much. So maybe, yeah, see, that's nothing against their toughness of 5. So maybe they do need the lance bonus. I don't know. I'm still trying to work out what's a balanced thing. I want to try out the Britannia, the Warhammer Armies Project Britannia, because last time I played Britannia, they were abysmal and barely a presence on the board. So there is some way we can balance cavalry without making them overpowered, but this might not be enough. Oh yeah, no, I definitely should have used the potion of foolhardiness that he has. I forgot that he has that thing. So I will say that he used it, because otherwise it will be a waste, because this was his one chance of using it. So that makes him pass fear tests automatically and +1 attack on the charge. And something I'm unsure about is how immune to psychology, like from his foolhardy potion, affects like a character in a unit, because if a character in a unit causes fear, or if a single model in the unit causes fear, they become immune to fear, but it doesn't say that for immune psychology. So I would say it should. I'd say similar to, because that's a witch hunter thing, that even if his unit fails the fear test, he still passes. I'm inclined to say that if you have a character that is immune to psychology, for example, they will always be immune to psychology, even if the rest of their unit is fearful. So I still need to test it on his leadership, though. 8. Oh, they pass anyway. Like, they haven't failed a single fear test this entire game. That's, like, it's usually such a big string to the undead bow, but it's just not made any difference. Oh yeah, another 2 possible things for improving the impact hits is +1 strength per rank. Could be good, because then if you have a sufficiently large unit of cavalry charging in, they can hit really, really hard, and that gives you reason to have large units of cavalry, whereas this was just the frontage of 5, which isn't much. The other one is the ogre charge equivalent, which is if they move a certain distance or roll a certain amount for the charge, I think it increases the strength. Personally, I'm inclined with the rank one, because I like to have ranked things of cavalry, but at the moment they are pretty useless. Captain Cobra is going to challenge, so he's going to move up to there, more for his own wounded pride and his own foolhardiness. 4 attacks with the devastating charge, hitting on 3s, all 4 hit. Wounding on 3s because of the lance strength bonus, 2 wounds. However, they have a 4+ regeneration, so they actually save both wounds. That's unfortunate for them. For him. The horse hits on a 4, misses. Crypt Horror hits on 4s, 3 hits. 1 is poisoned, the other 2 wound on a 4, 3 wounds. And with all of his armor, barding, and shield, he has a 4+ save, and he saves them all. So that challenge was a wash. 10 knights hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s because of the lances. 4 wounds, 4+ regeneration. Saved 2 of them, but 2 wounds were inflicted. Enough to kill off a Crypt Horror. 4 horses hitting on 4s, wounding on 6s. Wow, 1 wound. Regened, though. 6 Crypt Horror attacks back. 3 hits, wounding on 3s. Wow, triple 1. That's pretty poor. No poisoned either, so no, that's nothing. They win by 6. Wow, that's pretty devastating. That's incredibly unlucky for them, because they lose now just 2 more Crypt Horrors. And then down here, they still have always strikes first. Voights on an 8. Yep, they pass the fear, which means 18 hits on a 5. That's 2. 5 total. Reroll wounds, that's 2 wounds. Not saved. Oh, sorry, Voight has an extra attack because he's got a brace of pistols, so he's actually got 3 attacks. And he has quick to fire, so he could have shot them with a stand and shoot. Sorry, missed that entirely. 3s to hit, 1, 3 to wound with a reroll. Not that he needs it. Regeneration, nope. 18 hitting on 3s, 6, 11. Wounding on 4s, 4. Regenning on 6, 3 wounds. They get +2, they get +3. Although, yeah, that is a full rank. So yeah, they again win by 1, so 1 more zombie. Sylvania Turn 5. 12, so they need an 8 to get a charge, which they got. So the Crypt Ghouls charge in, although it looks like 4 of them go through dangerous terrain. They're all okay. And now they're charging, and they need a 7 on 2. And this will be a flank charge because there is no more space at the front. So this is the hammer. to the anvil. Any charging over there? No. But I will reform you guys to turn them around full 180. And I'm a little bit worried about their proximity to Neuhaus. Reliquary 11. Forgot to do that first. I don't know if they were within range. I think they were. The crypt horrors weren't, but I think they were. They are not. But they are. I think I'm going to move Neuhaus to there. And the Mortis engine rotate to face that way. Lorius move up to there. He's done really well as an isolated necromancer. Like, isolated spellcasters, if the other side can get some shots off, just die really easily. But if you're stood behind a massive block of things, he's not been able to use his vortex at all, but he's made up for it with his healing ability. Magic. Ooh, 12. No channeling required. If I got them a bit closer, they could have benefited from Vigor Mortis as well. Instead, it's just going to be these zombies. Let's get Lorius to Invocation of Nehek up to 18. So he's going to chuck 6 dice into this. And immediately get bloody Irresistible, of course. And that's why I did it with Lorius instead of with Neuhaus. So that should be absolutely everything is included in that, because it's a range of 18. So let's do the Crypt Horrors. They regain 3. Anything still standing? Nope. So they gain a new guy. The zombies get 2d6 plus 2. 9. Next zombies get 7. Fills out the back row. Back up to a very healthy 50 zombies, which is, again, still more than the 42 they started with. They're fine. Did they take a wound? They did not. So yeah, that's everyone. And Lorius suffers a power drain. His wizard level is reduced by D3. 2. He's now a level 0 wizard. So he loses both of these spells. Well, I didn't get to use Wind of Death at all, but that's okay. And it's much better that Lorius the Feeble has become Lorius the Feeble and Pointless. This is the downside with Irresistible casting, is it doesn't deplete their Dispel pool at all. And I suppose that's by design, but it means that now I'm a lot more hesitant about getting Neuhaus to cast something. That said, he was affected, so he passes Vigor Mortis on to everything else. I say everything else, literally just those zombies. I think I'm probably going to go with another invocation. I was umming and ahhing about Hellish Vigor on the Crypt Horrors to try and kill off the Knights, but they don't have their lances anymore. So I think I just need to try and outlast them a bit until I finish wiping out the rest of the force. So if I go with Upcast Invocation of Nehek, I'm just going to use 5 dice. I don't want to risk 6. Not at this stage. So 16, 20, 23, 25. That's going to be hard to beat even with 6. Oh, that is an abysmal roll. That's what, 11? Okie dokie. So Invocation pass at slightly upcast to 12. So they regain yet another Crypt Horror. Zombie unit gains 9 more. Next zombie gets 12 more. Oof. Yeah, I really love this playstyle for the vampire counts. Like, it's slow, and it'll be a lot harder in, the actual physical models rather than this where I could just copy and paste the zombies as much as I need them. Because, I wanted to leave my dead pile untouched. It's just so fun being able to just spawn another 12 zombies out of nowhere. Were these within... I think they were within the Inspiring Presence range before, because I didn't move that much. I think I was about here. Yeah, they would have been. Yeah, I'd need to be all the way down here for them not to be, and I wasn't that far. Because I've realised I should have reformed from defeat, so that they're not in the rear anymore. I'll do that now. 2 on a 7. Oh, failed anyway. Alright. With no shooting, we'll go to combat. So they get 2 for it being a rear battle, and the general maintains his challenge. He doesn't have the... Oh, he doesn't have the Potion of Foolhardiness anymore. That was a one-turn thing, so... Fear test on 8. Pass. On 3s, that's 2. And he's wounded on a 5 now because he doesn't have his lance. Oh, wow, he's still got 2 wounds. Regeneration on a 5. Ooh. This could be something. Hitting on 4s. 2. Wounding on 4s. 1. And a 4+ armor. Failed it. So Cobra takes a wound. And the challenge goes on. 10 on 3s. Ooh. The wounding on 6 is much harder. 5+ regen. 1 wound. Oh, I forgot to do Cobra's horse. Hit. No wound. Other horses. No hits. Crypt Horrors. Only 1 hit. And it was poisoned. 4+ save. 3+ save? Yeah, it should have been a 3+ save. So should that other one. Oh well. Failed. So 1 knight dies. They win the combat by 4, so that is gone. And then the big scrum that is probably going to be the end of Voight. Fear on 8. Ah, finally something has failed its fear test. So Voight still passes because of his special rule, but the spearmen now have a weapon skill of 1, which means the zombies hit on 4s instead of 5s. What a massive difference that will make. 3, 5. Wounding on 4s, 4 and 6+ armor. Yeah, maybe I should have given them spears. Sorry, shields. I thought, nah, they don't need shields. Why would they need shields? They're going to be attacking in such large numbers. I don't need to spend money on shields. I sound like the Stirland government now. Oh yeah, challenges. I think Voight probably would challenge. And I will accept it with the Crypt Horror champion. So, good luck, man. 3 attacks hitting on 3s. Ooh. Wounding on a 5 with a reroll. Oh, that's a wound. 5+ regen. Failed. 4+ to hit. 4+ to wound. Uh-oh. His light armor is reduced to nothing. So, yeah, he dies. He dies horribly, getting crushed by a Crypt Horror. You know, if they'd fled, he might have actually survived. But no, Voight is definitely dead. And because it was a unit champion beating a character, that will actually give them extra victory points. Not that the victory points are probably going to matter, because this is an absolute blowout. Spearmen and Crypt Ghouls are attacking at the same time, so I'll do the Spearmen first. I'm going to focus most of my attacks on the zombies, because I think killing zombies is going to cause Unstable to whittle down these much smaller units. Also means they're hitting on 4s. Instead of 5s, as they would be against basically anything else. 4s to wound. Oh, 3. Yeah. 1 regen saved as well, so I think it's all over but the crying for the Stirland Spearmen. And then 9 against the Crypt Ghouls. Oh, not bad. But they also have a 5 to wound, 2 wounds, and they get a 6+ regen, I believe. Yeah, it's 1 more wound. And then 2 against Crypt Horrors. Sorry, I miscounted. Voight is still there until their attack, so the Spearmen would be attacking the Ghouls. No, missed. 2 against the Horrors. Miss. 16 poisoned attacks on 3+. Wow, only 1 actually got poisoned. The other 7 are on a 4. A total of 6. Armor save, save 2, so 4 more die to that. 9 Crypt Horror attacks. Oof. I'll throw in the Stomp as well. So, total of 8 wounds. They don't get an armor against that, though. Oh god, the dead pile is absolutely huge now. 3 more for the combat rares, meaning they lose by 19. Oh no, they have a banner. So they lose by 18. So they need a double 1 to hold, which they obviously did not get. They flee. 4 are pursued by the zombies for 6. So they are wiped out. I probably should have pursued them with the Crypt Horrors. That would have been, you know, more consolidating and less things charging through trees. Yeah, literally 50 zombies need to take dangerous terrain tests. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. At this point, I'd say the sizable amount of my army is made up of the Stirland soldiers we were just fighting, which is horrible but amazing. The Crypt Ghouls are going to try and restrain from pursuing, so 5. No, they failed, so they pursue 6, which they can't because they're a Crypt Horrors, the Crypt Horrors shouldn't quite be in the way. So they move 6, and the Crypt Horrors can't because there are things in the way. So they will... They can't even reform, there's not space to reform. Yeah, we've just marched across and killed everything in the way. This is what Manfred is planning for the Empire. This is a perfect example of it. Empire turn 5, and they have 2 units left. They're going to move forward 3 and rotate. Oh yeah, they are going to combat reform on 7. Alright, okay, they succeeded this time. Alright, that's just to stop them from being rear charged. No magic. Shooting. What can you see? Oh, you can see Neuhaus. Can you? No, you can't draw line of sight. Alright, they are going to take the shot, because if they can kill him, it could change things, but it's very, very unlikely. Hitting on 6s? No. In that case, straight to the combat. That's all that's left. Fear test. Pass. Captain in his challenge. 2 hits. 1 wound. Saved. Oh, we regenerated. The horse hits. No wound. Crypt Horror, 2 hits. No wounds. The challenge goes on. 10 knight attacks. And 1 wound, which is regenerated. 4 horse attacks, which don't do anything. You see, now that they're facing, the one at the back gets to add his 3 attacks in as well, so this is where it might turn, but I do keep saying that. 4 hits, no poison. 4 wounds, 3 plus armor, 1 fail. So they have lost their rank bonus. Oh, hang on, they should have been winning by more. I've not been adding their standard to their victories. Damn. I feel I've let a lot of little rules slip past me in this one. So I apologise for that, but sadly it happens. So they get 1 for their banner, and they do have a musician, so they do actually win by 1, just by the fact that they have the musician. So that's another Crypt Horror gone again. And then we go into the final turn, turn 6. The Knights of Moor might yet survive Albert Kober. Can he survive the final 2 rounds of the game? Well, I'm definitely just going to be charging in the side there with the Mortis engine. I don't know how good the Mortis engine... Oh, hang on. Wait, before I do that, Reliquary, turn 6, so 11. That is... Oh, not the zombies, not those zombies. It is just these guys. Yes, and then I charge in. I don't know how good the Mortis engine is in combat. I've been using it very much as a support role, and it's done pretty well as a passive buff. But I'm curious to see how it does in combat. And there is basically no point me moving anything else, because they're not going to reach anything in time, and no, I'm not going to move anything else. Although, what I will do is I will shift Neuhaus over here, so that he is within 6 inches of both of those, and I will move... Oh, he's useless now, he can't cast spells. So, yeah, you just stay over there. Whatever, just go manage the day-to-day necromancy stuff, would you? Magic. 5. I believe technically he can't channel if he doesn't have any wizard levels, so just the 1. Hellish Vigor with 3 on the Crypt Horrors. Ooh, wow. Okay, 17. Are you going to try and dispel that? He isn't. He'd rather get rid of the invocation, which is going to keep this unit up. And basically, that's his only chance of scoring literally any... Oh, I put the Knight of Moor over there. Literally any victory points is killing these Crypt Horrors. That is his only chance, otherwise it is an absolute washout. Invocation. Normal. Ooh, 12. Might still get through. No, it doesn't. The unexpected side effect of this is because Hellish Vigor targets only a single unit, he doesn't give his Vigor, because he needs to be targeted in order to give Vigor Mortis to everything around him. So if he'd gone for the invocation instead, then these would be hitting first instead of last. But I actually get to use the Ghostly Howl for once. I've been waiting all game to use Ghostly Howl because it's a pretty good ranged ability, and it can be used in combat. 2d6 plus 2 for each point it exceeds their leadership. They take a wound. So 2d6 plus 2. 8 plus 2, 10. And I believe they have a leadership of 10 because of Kober. So yeah, just 2 knights die with no saves, no armor saves allowed. So into the combat, the challenge goes on with Koba. Fear check, pass, 3 attacks, 1 hits, no wound. If he'd managed to get that 1 wound, that would have killed him. But the horse still gets a try. Hits, fail. 4 attacks back, 2 hit, no wounds. Oh, actually, the 2 hits were both poison, so they automatically wound. My mistake. 3 plus armor, 1 save, 1 fail. Koba's dead. Oh no. Again, it's another character who's been killed by a champion in a challenge. Oh, that is incredibly bad for Stirland. Losing a warrior priest, a witch hunter, and a captain all to essentially a distraction. Just a zombie horde that descended on them, but it was the crypt horrors that have really pulled their weight. So 1 for there. 5 knights against the crypt horrors, and 1 wound with... Oh, it's regenerated. Although actually they're up to 4+ regeneration, aren't they? 3 horses, no damage. And now the Mortis Engine actually strikes at the same time. Interesting, Mortis Engine versus Knights of More. It's almost like they like to... and there's a mortuary cult as well. It's like they like to use the same words again and again. Anyway, he can't support because it's to the flank, so it is just this 1 knight against the Mortis Engine. Hitting on a 4. Nope. Horse hitting on a 4. Yes. No wound. And now the Mortis Engine gets 3 attacks from the Banshees, 1 from the Corpse Master, and 2d6 from the Spirit Horde. Banshees first. And wound. Saved. Corpse Master. Fail. 6 Crypt Horror attacks. Rerolling failed wounds, which is just the 1. Oh, I shouldn't have rolled 2 of them anyway, they were poisoned. But, oh well. 3s to save. Oh wow, all 3 saved. They've got really good armor. And the Spirit Horde has 12 attacks. 2d6 random attacks, and it came out as 12. Hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, saving on 3s. Wow, okay. All of them saved. So they have 1 for the banner, but they do lose overall by 2. So they have to test on 6, which they pass. They stay in the fight as we go into the final turn, the Empire turn 6. Yeah, there's really not anything I could do here. They're out of range of even that. There's no way they can see Neuhaus from here, just because the cavalry are just that much taller. They can just see the top of the bell, but I'd say that's not enough. Yeah, you can't hurt anything there, so looks like the huntsmen are unable to do anything. So I guess we'll just skip straight to combat and wrap up the game. I will challenge, because they are determined to do something in this game, and it's the Knight of More will try and take out this last Crypt Horror. Fear test on 8. Ooh, just passed. 1 hit, no wound. Crypt Horror has 3 hits, 2 wounds, 1 save, so the guy's dead. Well, he tried. 4 knights, 3 hits, 1 wound. Yes, one wound has been done. Good for you. Also, I forgot to do the champion's horse. I'll do that now. Hit. I mean, if this is a kill, then he survived. No, it's not. Knight against the Mortis Engine. Hit. A wound. Ooh. Has regeneration. And fails. So they actually inflict a wound on the Mortis Engine. That's cool. It's not going to do much, but that's, you know, good. Again, good for you. Banshee Swarm. 1 wound. Saved. Corpse Master hit. Failed to wound. Crypt Horrors, 2 hits. 1 wound. 1 save. Oh, yeah. And then the final attacks of the game. The Spirit Horde, 6 attacks. 2 hits. 1 wound. And yeah, it's I've realised it's a 2+ save. Because they have only a strength of 3. Because they've got a full armor, so that's a 4. Barding increase it to a 3, and then a shield increase it to a 2. So yeah, no wounds. So they actually win the combat because they have banner Sorry, they don't increase it by 2. They win because they have a banner, so they do another wound to each of them. But sadly, it is too little too late, and the match is over. So at this point, the huntsmen flee. They're not counting as fleeing for the purposes of, like, victory. Some Knights of Moor and the huntsmen are all that managed to escape. Of the 161 men who marched out of Stirland to face the Sylvanian advance, 15 returned alive. And of the 119 dead who entered, about 140 are continuing to march on. Their numbers increased with the battle. It's astounding to me that that happened. And at the end of the battle, including the 2 siege standards, the 2 underdog challenges, and the general dying, the vampire counts scored 1,409 victory points. The Empire scored 0. I would say that is a definitive massacre. So later on, I'll see how that has affected the campaign, but next we're moving on to Skaven versus Orcs and Goblins. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed this fight. It turned out very different to how I expected. I thought Stirland would win, because I've never had much success with the zombie build, but it seems I have worked out how to do it. Either that or I just completely misplayed the Empire. So let me know what you think. Let me know if there are any rules I got wrong, or if you have any tips or tricks for how I can better play the vampires or the Empire. Thank you very much, and subscribe for more board games, card games, miniatures like this, or TTRPGs. Check out the rest of the Mighty Empires campaign, and I will catch you later.